Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I figured I would sit down with you guys and chat a little bit about how I turned fitness and health into a lifestyle for myself. So often I see so many questions about how do you turn this into something that you can do day in and day out and stick with and maintain. So I figured I would take a moment to sit down and chat with you guys about a couple of the tips and tricks that I have found work for me in order to be able to help kind of stick with this and keep fitness and health as a lifestyle shift and a lifestyle change. Because I think it is so important to be able to have success in a healthy lifestyle. You have to make it a lifestyle. It's not something that you can change a little bit from here, a little bit from here, and expect to see these big changes. It does take time and it does take energy to be able to make this an entire lifestyle, but I feel like with a couple quick tips and tricks, it can help you guys get there. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video. So my first tip on how to turn fitness and health into a lifestyle is to establish a routine and a schedule that works for you. The best part about this is that it is so unique and independent to you and your particular goals. So the first thing that you have to do is establish goals for yourself. What is your end game? What is the purpose? What is the reason? What is the reason you want to start making this a part of your lifestyle? Maybe you have really big goals. Maybe you want to see weight come off. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to gain weight. Maybe you put on muscle. Maybe you simply want to just feel better, feel more confident in how you look, and that's okay too. But first things first, you have to establish a goal for yourself. What is the purpose of why you're going to be putting in the time and effort into creating this into a lifestyle for yourself? After you do that, then you'll be able to create a routine and create a schedule that works with you and goes in line with those goals. So the biggest thing I can say is if you want to be exercising, let's say 4 or 5 days every single week, you have to establish what are those days going to look like for you. I think for myself, for my clients, and for so many people that I talk to, having a routine, having a schedule of being like, on Monday I'm going to do this, on Tuesday I'm going to do this, I'm going to take off on these days, helps drastically. It's just an accountability factor. If you think of all the times that you're successful, it's typically times when we have a to-do list or we have a schedule or we have a routine that we have to stick with. So telling yourself, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z on these days really does drastically help because it just keeps you accountable. It keeps you more organized and in line, and then it helps everything that you do kind of build towards those goals. I think for so many people, one of the hardest parts about fitness and health is the fact that it feels like a chore. So I think making this into a routine and making this into a schedule that fits into your life perfectly is one of the biggest ways to stick with it and to keep this sustainable, because then it isn't a chore, it's just something you do. It's just on Mondays I go to the gym and I do X, Y, and Z. On Tuesdays I do X, Y, and Z. On Fridays I take a rest day. It just becomes a part of your normal schedule and your normal routine, and that helps drastically because then it doesn't feel like a chore. It just feels like something that you need to do on this day because that's what you always do on this day. And then if you don't do it, it feels weird not doing it. And then to kind of dive deeper into like creating a routine and creating a schedule is when you are actually going to be at the gym working out. What does that routine look like? Are you going to be lifting? What days are you going to be doing what exercises? Are you taking group exercise classes? Are you doing yoga? Figuring out kind of putting together little bits and pieces of what's going to fit where based off of your goals helps drastically because like I said, it one keeps you more accountable. If you know every Wednesday you hit back and shoulders but you really don't feel like going to the gym on Wednesday, then you're like, okay, but if I don't do it, then I don't hit back and shoulders. It's just that little bit of accountability factor being like, here's why I show up today, because I want to work on this, because it builds me towards this, because it helps me get toward my goals. So like everything just builds on top of each other. The next tip that I have is to start small. I think so many people want to go from 0 to 100. And while there is nothing wrong with that, and if you are the type of person who can do something like that, there is nothing wrong with it. But I think for so many people, when you go from like nothing to everything, in any aspect of your life, you're more likely to fail. Unfortunately, when you throw yourself full force into this like healthy lifestyle, if you just throw yourself into it after not doing anything from it, you are likely to kind of like quote unquote fall off the wagon. It's something that you're not going to want to stick with or be consistent with because you don't just like love it. It isn't a part of your life. If you start small and you're like, okay, this week I'm going to incorporate a little bit more fruits and vegetables. This week my goal was to drink 64 ounces glasses of water every single day. This week, my goal is to exercise 4 to 5 times every single week. And if you start small and then every week you build another goal on top of that, another goal on top of that, then suddenly, without even realizing or really even trying, you have created this healthy lifestyle for yourself by just incorporating little things here and there. You don't have to make the shift from, oh, I'm not doing anything, to I'm going to do everything. I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to exercise 6 days a week. I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing all the time. I think putting yourself into that mindset of I have to do things like this is some of the reasons why it's hard to be consistent and it's hard to stick with it. So I would just say take small steps. Doing something small every single day is better than nothing at all. I would say incorporating little aspects of leading a healthy lifestyle every single day, slowly but surely into your lifestyle, is going to be so helpful, because then before you know it, it's going to be so natural and such a part of your everyday life. But until it gets to that point, you have to set yourself up for success and incorporate pieces little by little until we get there. The next tip is to make it fun. I think so often everyone goes into the mindset that fitness and health and exercising and eating healthy has to be boring. It has to be no fun. You have to not be able to enjoy any of the things that you enjoy anymore. It should be fun. So part of this goes into like that routine that we were talking about. Make your routine fun. Make your routine something you look forward to. If you aren't the type of person that enjoys lifting, then find other ways to be able to get active. Go take classes. Do this or that instead of lifting 5 days a week if that's not what makes you happy. If you show up to the gym dreading the workouts you're going to do day in and day out, it's going to be very hard for you to want to stick with it and want to be consistent with this lifestyle. And the same thing goes with food. If you are the type of person who loves healthy food, you love salads, you love fruits and vegetables, you love being able to cook your own homemade food, it's not going to be hard for you to stick with it. But if you are not the type of person that really enjoys eating healthy and you tend to prefer all of that food, then slowly start to ease your way into it, or find fun and new recipes to spice things up so you still get that feeling of, oh, I'm eating the foods I know and love, but they are a little bit healthier for me. When you just like throw yourself into being like, I'm going to eat a salad for lunch every single day, even though you hate salads, you're going to hate leading a healthy lifestyle. Where if you find recipes that are fun and you enjoy making and you enjoy eating, then suddenly it doesn't feel like a chore. It just feels like a part of your lifestyle. So I think that's super, super important. And I just feel like the more that we make this feel like just something we do day in and day out and not something that's like a job, the more fun we have with it. So I think making it fun through exercise, finding ways that work best for you, and through food, finding recipes, finding meal ideas, trying new things out, going to new food places that you never would have tried before is a really great way to make sure that this is a lifestyle for you and not something that's just like a quick fix or something you're gonna do and then fall off of and then do and then fall off of. The next tip that I have goes in line with the food, and that is to track your calories and your macros for a few days. I don't think that this is something that you need to stick with long term. Some people really, really like it. They really, really appreciate tracking their food and their macros. It really helps them stay on track. It really helps them reach their goals that much faster. For myself, I developed a really, really unhealthy relationship with food and exercise when I started to track religiously. So what I would say to you is to play around with it. I think it's really important for every single person to track for a couple days or a day here or there, just to kind of like as a check-in to see like where you're at, to be like, oh my god, I ate so much salt that day, I didn't realize I did that, or oh my gosh, I've really been going overboard on the carbohydrates department, I wasn't aware that I was doing that. It just keeps you a little bit more accountable, a little bit more aware of the areas that you're doing really, really well and the areas that you want to improve upon, because let's be honest, every single person has area that they want to improve upon and areas that they want to do better at. So I think it's just good every so often to track your calories and to track your macros if you're able to, just to kind of see where you're at, see areas you want to push. And once it becomes kind of a habit, it's not that big of a deal. Like if you know the serving size of like a chicken breast and you know it's this many calories, this many grams of chicken, because you have tracked from time to time, then you don't need to do it day in and day out because you know that's what it is. So as long as you are eating that amount, or if you're eating over, you just are more aware of the calories and the macros that go into certain things when you track from time to time. Obviously it's very individual, it's very dependent from person to person. Some people love it, some people hate it. So I never am going to say it's something that like everyone should go out and buy a food scale, everyone should track their calories day in and day out. I don't. I just think it's something that for a lot of people can be really beneficial to do from time to time in order to be able to kind of just check in and see where they're at. My next tip, and I honestly think one of the most important tips I can give you, is to create balance in your life. This kind of goes along with making it fun and making it something that you enjoy and don't dread doing, but create a balance in your life. Even if your goals are to lose weight, even if your goals are to gain weight, even if your goals are to gain muscle, you have to create a balance in your lifestyle. If this is something that day in and day out, you're like, ugh, I have to eat lunch, ugh, I have to eat dinner. Or your friends ask you like, hey, do you want to go out to lunch? And you're like, no, I can't. Chances are you're not going to want to stick with it. Chances are you're going to hate it. And then you're not going to enjoy it. And at the end of the day, like, this is your life. I say it, this is a lifestyle. And that's why I'm talking about creating this into a lifestyle. It's so easy to do quick fixes. It's so easy to hop on this diet and lose this amount of weight and then be so happy with your results. And then as soon as you start incorporating that food back in that you just eliminated, you start to put weight back on. I don't want anyone to have to go through that. So by creating this into a lifestyle, it's something that, yeah, okay, you can go, this pillow just attacked me. Yeah, you can go and eat Chick-fil-A from time to time. Yeah, you can go out and have a few drinks with your friends from time to time. Sure, you can't do it every single day, day in and day out, but who am I to tell you that you can't do that? It's something that I fully believe in, that if you create balance into your lifestyle, you need to take days off. You need to rest. Your body physically needs it. You have to create that balance between wanting to be healthy and wanting to be in shape and wanting to be fit and wanting to reach your goals, but also living your life. You don't want to feel like because you are doing all of these healthy things that you're not able to go out and enjoy things and live your life and be happy and do things that you want to do. They have to go hand in hand, because if you focus so much on the physical health of it all, the eating healthy, the exercising, all of that, then for some people, including myself, then your mental health will start to struggle. If I am being so strict on the amount of calories that I'm eating, on the workouts that I'm doing, this, that, and the other thing, then I'm not going to be like going out with my friends. I'm not going to be able to be doing things that I want to be doing. And then my mental health is going to be struggling. So in order for this to truly be a healthy lifestyle, you have to be working on both your physical and your mental health. And for me, going out and doing things with my friends, going out on trips, going out and getting drinks, or going out and grabbing food is part of taking care of my mental health. So I have to be able to be in touch with both of those two things. Otherwise, you can be in the best shape of your entire life, and that's amazing, and you should be proud of that. But if your mental health is really struggling, then I don't believe you're truly living a healthy lifestyle. So the two of them have to work together. And I think in order to be able to do that, you have to create a balance in your life. You need to be able to enjoy things. If you have a quote unquote bad day of eating, or if you take a rest day off from exercise that maybe wasn't planned, that doesn't make you a failure. That doesn't mean that you've fallen off the wagon from your fitness and your health journey. It just means that you're taking a moment to enjoy the other aspects of your life, and that is okay. Even if you have super strict goals, which at the moment I don't have. I don't have super strict health or fitness goals. I just want to lead a healthy lifestyle. So even if you have super strict goals, you want to lose a very specific amount of weight, you want to lose a very specific amount of body fat percentage, you should be able to enjoy yourself. I think that's part of it, because you need to protect both your mental and your physical health. All right, and then my last two tips kind of go hand in hand with each other, and that is to be patient and to not compare with anyone else. This is something that can be so incredibly difficult, and something that I still work on day in and day out. First and foremost, be patient with yourself. If it was easy, if it was quick, everyone would do it. If you could start one day and the next day you started seeing immediate changes, everyone would do it. Everyone would do it. So be patient with yourself. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. You're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days with it. I think it's just so important to be patient with yourself, to give yourself time, and to understand that at the end of this is a life. We keep talking about it being a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle, so it's something that you're going to be working on for the rest of your entire life, and that's okay. You should be proud of yourself, and every single day you've showed up for yourself, you're working towards the next best version of yourself. So whether it takes 3 months or 3 years, you should be so proud of yourself, because once you hit your goals, the goal is to not stop. The goal is to then shift your goals to the new thing that you're working on, because this is a lifestyle. This is something that we want to do for the rest of our life. So be patient with yourself. You're not going to see progress overnight, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means that this is a long process and it takes a lot of time, but it will, and it always is worth it in the long run. So just keep pushing along. Keep seeing that like silver lining of like, why do you show up? Why do you do this? And I think when you remind yourself like, what is your why, it makes the waiting and like it helps you be a little bit more patient. The other thing that kind of goes hand in hand is to not compare yourself with other people. You could be comparing your day 1 to somebody's year 5. You have no idea where they are in their fitness and their health journey. They could be doing this for years. They could be doing this for months. They could be working day in and day out on this. You have no idea what is going on in their specific life and what they have done up to this point to get to where they are. I think this can be so difficult to do between being on social media and seeing people post pictures and post workout videos and being like, why can't I just be like that? But you also don't know how long it took them to even be like that. Some people, based off of genetics, naturally lose weight easier than others. Some people, based off of genetics, naturally gain muscle easier than others. And that's another aspect of it. You can't change your genetics. So if they are working out, even if they've been working out the same time period as you and they look different and they've changed quickly, that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means that's their genetics and their body compared to your genetics and your body. So don't compare to other people. This is your journey. You should be proud of your journey, where you're at, the accomplishments you've made, and they're allowed to be very proud of themselves too. But everything that they have done and what they look like shouldn't stop you from being proud of yourself and all you have done. I think it's so easy to see other people in the gym and other people on social media and being like, oh, I wish I could look like that. Even if you did the exact same workouts that they did day in and day out, you would not look like that. Every single person's body is totally and completely different, and that's a beautiful freaking thing, besties. It's a beautiful freaking thing. So don't act like that is a bad thing, but try your hardest. Even though it's so hard, it's hard for me too, to not compare yourself to other people. Their journey has been so entirely different than yours. It will continue to be so entirely different than yours, and that's not a bad thing. It just means you should be proud of yourself and where you're at, and you should look in the mirror and be proud of that person you see there, and not ever for a second stop to compare yourself to somebody else that you don't know where they've come from or where they want to end up in their fitness and their health journey. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I hope you guys like these tips and tricks. At the end of the day, it's going to be so different for every individual person. I'm speaking on things that have worked for myself in my personal experience through my fitness and health journey up to this point. I am by no means like at the end of my fitness and my health journey. Like I told you, I want to make this a lifestyle. This is something that in 10, 20 years from now, I want to be able to keep doing. I'm just speaking on myself and my experiences and what has worked for me in the past, but obviously everyone is so individual. So you need to cater this towards you and your specific goals and what works best for you. So if you like this video, please make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. You already know it supports my channel. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss another video that I post. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on my Instagram so you can see other fitness, health, and lifestyle content that I post on there. And I will see you guys here next time.